Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Unfairly back here with some more Marathon PvP content. Today we're going to be getting into our trials and tribulations on Cryo Archive for the last couple of weeks of the season. I'm super excited for Season 2 and everything that's going to come with it, along with the entirety of the reset and actually having my kind of grind and progression somewhat mapped out. I'll try to make a video of that before the new season comes out on June 2nd, just so you guys are going to be super optimized for any sort of your raids and just PvP in general. So yeah, today we're going to be getting into a ton of cryo clips, ranked and not ranked. A ton of situations, some good plays, some plays where things really didn't go according to plan, but we ultimately came out on top. So we're going to be getting into all the usual combat insights. As I say, like a parrot every single time, join the Marathon Masterclass Discord. We are 500 plus members strong, and we have a really nice active community sharing their progress, getting questions answered, looking for groups, and we have a whole bunch of pro players that I play with all the time in there, answering questions, and more than happy to help you guys out as well. So come on by. We have the link in the description and in the bio of my profile here. So let's get into it, guys. I know I apologize for not making too many videos. As you can see, it's been literally almost like 2 weeks since my last video. I actually hurt my back pretty bad, and it was rough trying to sit up even just to work or even enjoy the game. So I apologize for that, but you can see I've been getting really active on the live streams here on YouTube. So anytime, feel free to check out my channel. I'm usually putting in pretty good 13-hour shifts whenever I'm actually playing this. So all right, without further ado, let's get into it. Here we're starting off on Cryo Unranked.
Yeah.
So we hear this team, obviously, and they're pushing in. We're kind of in a bad place on these stairs. This stairs right here in this little platform, this is what I like to call like a free grenade splash zone, because all they have to do is really chuck their grenade, not even really looking at it, and it's either going to land somewhere on the stairs, on the platform where you are, or on the wall behind you, and you're going to get the area of effect or the splash damage here. So us being up here was definitely disadvantageous, and once they actually decide to start guerrilla aping us, we're going to have to really push back and try to mitigate this push as best as possible. And you can see we're going to try to do that with the grenades, because in the same kind of breath, they have good grenade kind of splash on us, but we have even somewhat the same or even better, because we can just throw it back up there, we can bounce it off the walls up here, and there's not much place for them to move or maneuver except really out of the POI, and in that case we could really lock them out if the situation calls for it.
Back up.
But we're going to try to prevent this. We're going to push back, chuck a couple nades up. I'm down here. I just want to say that obviously, as we've talked about so many times, fighting from a low ground position is so disadvantageous and not something you want to actively choose to do. Just in kind of the panic of getting off the stairs in that severely limited mobility of where you are on those stairs, we kind of just rush to the bottom, get invisible, and I look to kind of continue shooting shots or use those grenades and kind of those bounces up here to try to get some more damage to prevent them from kind of full 8 pushing us, kind of keep them isolated in a place where we know that they're there, and we'll keep all eyes on them. There's no really potential of us getting flanked or outplayed. So kind of evaluating the situation here. Just waiting for a pick, waiting for damage, waiting for some sort of signal to give us the green light to move on this fight, or be a little bit more aggressive.
What? How did I get the kill?
So Django gets a double kill
What is happening right now?
with his mythic bolt thrower, and then me and Delta go ahead in ape. Now what do we see? As we've talked about so many times, in ranked, in cryo, in any map, as soon as there is sound of fighting, any team that is critically thinking that hears this is going to know that there is at least 2 teams fighting, or maybe, even if they're fighting AI, but this you can pretty much tell that we're fighting each other. It's only players, no AI. But you can tell that without even seeing the fight, that there are probably 3 on 3 there. They're distracted, fighting each other. They're not worried about the outside noise or commotion. It's not in their background kind of capabilities for understanding. They are focused on the task at hand. And so, being that this team made a great play, they're coming in to finish what's left of us. We're not actually really too down off this fight. We took care of it pretty easily, but they're connotation that we could be weak and that we're unprepared, we're looking for the loot, we're distracted, is correct. And if we weren't prepared for this or didn't lock this, we would have been actually probably aped and reverse swept the other way. So what are we gonna do here? Knowing that they're trying to take down this wall, and like we said just at the beginning of the fight, this is the grenade splash zone. You do not want to be here. So what are we gonna do?
Back up, back up.
Great comms to back up. I kind of don't want to put my back to them, so I end up taking that little bit extra damage, and they start aping. Now we go down after just winning that fight. We went from having the disadvantage to the advantage to now the disadvantage. But again, even with the self-revive nerf, it's so long, but if there's commotion and chaos, you may fall into the background noise of this team. Like, they are focused on my two teammates that are alive and putting shots on them and taking and avoiding shots from my teammates. I end up slipping away and crawl under the platform to this, like, pipe basement area, and I end up getting the self-revive and resetting this fight to be able to at least be able to take a fair 3v3 on the invading team. So we effectively pulled our advantage back. We lost it and then pulled it back with patience and decision making under pressure. So we're gonna get set up here, give ourselves that little smoke and our teammates that little smoke just for a little bit of cover, get reset, get healed into the bubble. Now we're evaluating the situation. It's very stalemate. The other team is still up here, have high ground on us, and we are still in here, probably locked in as well. And we're on the low ground. Again, a disadvantage. So now that we're back up at full health, I realize that this is a traditional 50-50 head-to-head fight. This can either drag out, or one of our teams, whether it be the enemy or us, can make a mistake and allow the opposite team to ape and take full advantage of that pick. So what am I going to do? Knowing that we're in this stalemate, we're 50-50, we have no disadvantages besides kind of our positioning at this point, I'm going to look to see what advantage or what play I can work. I need to get a pick. I need to get a down, or I need to get damage for the rest of my team to be able to work the situation. And so being the invisibility and seeing that that smoke is still here, I have a few perks that allow my smoke to go for a lot longer than they usually do. I'm going to go ahead and sneak up knowing I have this Gold Miss Raya. And we're just going to peek. We're going to real slow see what we can see. But we get shot at, so we have to commit. But look at the aggression. They think that it's just a solo player. And because of that, even though the first player goes down, the second one pushes me immediately, thinking it's a clear advantage. And they end up going down. They gave up such an advantage position to absolutely nothing, to a single one-player lonely little rat void player. They gave all of that up. So if there's anything to really be taken besides kind of your positioning and being aware in that clip, it's just knowing that even if you go down or your teammates go down, give them all the resources they need to be able to get themselves back up, get the res, get back into the fight, and allow your teammates to do their jobs and make their plays. If my teammates didn't allow me to get up there by keeping suppressing fire on them, or if I didn't make that move to kind of hide myself resing, I'm not up there to make that play. That game does not end the same exact way if you don't make these decisions under this pressure consistently. And again, what have we talked about? People ask, how do you do that? You need repetition. You need to forcefully put yourself into those positions over and over and over again. You don't have to take out amazing loot, but you have to just be used to that kind of, I guess, situational like pressure. It needs to be repeated to the point where once you get into those situations going forward, you don't feel any sort of different than you were right before you went into the fight. It's just added to your kind of working knowledge and capacity and flow. So here we're on ranked. We are in cryo still. This is kind of a just a really good play calling, and I'll show you. And it's something you can repeat infinitely around the map of cryo and really any other map.
People, east, people.
Dude, we don't have time for that shit. Just get over here.
Up here, bro.
So Delta's down there trying to get some commander keys. As you can see, we have our loadout score already. We're just trying to kind of max. We're trying to commander max is what I call it. So once you have kind of a clear map, or you know that there's really not many people or any people, you want to go ahead and try to kill these bosses and kill all of these commanders to get as many coins to up your bonus as possible. Because you know that most of the time you max out with whatever loot you've gotten, you've maxed out the credit counter, but you're not taking advantage without those little bonus coins of your full kind of capability and inventory value. The more coins that you get, the more your loot value is actually going to count for what it counts for. So again, we're split. We have Delta ultimate low. Me and Tonto are up top, just kind of holding. We're kind of looking to get out, but we are looking for those coins again, just to get a little bit better of a score. So Delta hears people, and they're across the way, and Delta is at the full bottom. Instead of panicking and running back towards us, what is he going to do? We know that we somewhat kind of surprised this team, and they kind of surprised us. So it almost was like both teams kind of just got startled, and so no one really has the clear advantage. But Delta, being the IGL and aggressive fragger that he is, he's going to say, let me take my disadvantage and turn it into something workable that could be turning into an advantage. So meanwhile, me and Tonto are up here drawing their fire. They think all three of us are up here. They don't know that Delta is down here creeping up right on their 6. And so you're going to see how this plays out. He works a disadvantage by just a simple thought to just move more towards the enemy, almost a counterintuitive thing to think when you're in a disadvantage. You want to think, oh, I want to get out of this as fast as possible. But he works differently. He moves towards the danger and puts himself in a position to get a pick for us. Meanwhile, I just can't even say how perfect this is, because they think we're all up here. They have no clue that the disadvantaged player is now in the most dangerous position of all time for them. So he's going to slowly push up. And what's he going to do? He's going to locate that they're in the corner and get a pick. As soon as he gets the pick, I'm going invisible and I'm rushing. He got the advantage. He got the pick. It is our only job to make sure his advantage doesn't go to waste. And so what are we going to do? He gets the down. I'm going to rush in, knowing that I have the bully and kind of the shotgun, the more close range. And Tonto is going to stay up on height and continue to put shots and pressure on them, to making sure that res doesn't go through, making sure that the teammates aren't kind of getting out of chaos and getting into a settled point. And you're going to see Delta kills one from over here. Tonto, all the way up there with these shots, ends up killing another. And then I run in and take down the last person. That was a disadvantage. That was a gorgeous play where our teammate is down here disadvantaged, comes up and gets a first pick, opens up the flowways for us to come in and help him. I rush in and get the close range kill, and then Tonto all the way on the other side gets the long range kill on the third. We have 3-pronged approach of aggression, and it went in a snap. As soon as that first advantage damage or down is taken, we sprung into action. They had no time they were on their heels after that kind of knockout blow by Delta on the first person. We never, ever allowed them to get their balance back. They were on their heels the entire time and didn't have a second to even communicate or coordinate a coordinated kind of retreat or a heal or a bubble shield. It was chaos, and that's what you want to have happen to your enemies anytime that you're making plays. You want chaos and discoordination on the part of the other team. And so they all go down, and we end up getting some fat loot. Get the rest of our coins, and you can see it's about 5 minutes, so we're going to just go ahead and exfil right after this. Beautiful textbook plays. And here's another one. So we're, again, cryo ranked. We are listening to a team that's fighting. They end up kind of coming to retreat towards us. And we're going to be a little bit aggressive, but we're not going to overcommit. You can see, we've talked about so many times, in these tunnel funnels, I call them tunnel funnels now, the only advantage that you can really expect in there is when you don't actually sit in the funnel. You can see that it's just a grenade fest. When they see one person on your team peek to shoot or throw a grenade, and then your teammate comes away, they're going to go ahead and spam those nades. You never want to be in that sort of kind of splash damage. And you can time these things very easily. Once you start getting in the flow of the game, you can tell if your teammate just peeked, you can expect that there's a grenade coming in. And so you can kind of play on that when expecting when are they about to throw a grenade, you can kind of cut in and throw a grenade first and try to get the splash damage on them. But you can see, I kind of got off topic a little bit, but we were pushing that team, and then I was kind of cognizant enough to look to the left down the hallway, and we saw another team pushing in. And so what did we do? The smart thing. We got ourselves out of the sandwich. We got ourselves out of the position. There's one team in here, one team far. We pushed all the way back. And now what happens? We are no longer the team in the sandwich. We're no longer the ice cream in between the two cookies. We're one of the cookies. A cookie's over here and the ice cream's over here. We're another cookie. So what are we doing now? We are waiting until the other cookie and the ice cream, basically the two sandwich teams, start fighting, and then us, because we moved away and are chilling here, we have the choice of when to go in. It is in our ballpark to make this choice. Now that Delta here's fighting, we know, just like we talked about in the last clip, there's two teams fighting. They are no longer paying attention to every single thing around them. This is a perfect chance for us to run in and clean up both teams so we can get literally six people's loot. And so you can see, two people go left, I go right, Delta gets it down, I'm going to focus on the down, but then there's one more person looking to revive him, and we end up taking them out. All 6 of them dead, just like that. And we could have been the people that were in the middle of this dead if we didn't back out and put ourselves as a cookie instead of the ice cream in the ice cream sandwich. You need to get out of the sandwich every single time and put yourself on the outside so you have that choice of when you aggress, when you take your advantage. Because if you're in the middle of the sandwich, you don't get to make those decisions of when you leave or when you aggress. It's being done for you and it's being done to you. So make sure that you're never the one in the middle of the sandwich. Be on the outside, be the cookie, so you have the choices. You have the choice. So here, again, Cryo ranked. We're pretty late game. We're getting pushed by this kind of stingy team. They're in a pretty decent position.
Okay.
Delta's going to be looking in to get some damage, but I'm trying to run to him, but you can see I'm overheated. You can see, once again, the grenade spam, the splash damage. You know where the team is, and you know where their angles and where their grenades are going to land. If you think that, you know, your teammate was right here, which Delta was, and then he ran, they're going to throw nades here, not knowing that he ran, to see if they can just get a free kill on him. But again, I'm going to be slow, just waiting outside of the splash damage. I'm going to sit here. I notice I'm sitting here a little too long, so I'm just going to give myself a little smoke, little bubble. And Delta's going to go back in. He gets some good damage. I'm going to run right past the other person and take him down. This is actually a convoluted-ass clip. And I just want to let you know, of course, in these situations, your comms and your teammates' comms may get very chaotic, but it's so important to really focus, find your inner flow, and let all of the irrelevant or semi-irrelevant information fall to the background noise. Even if it is somewhat relevant information, you can hear it. You don't have to say something back. You just take it into your head, take it into your working processing power, and act on it. You can see that my teammates are going down. They're kind of going to be calming at me, or like kind of not aggressive, but they're going to be kind of panicked calming on me to come over. You can't let that make yourself make a bad decision. Instead of reacting to those comms, like, you know, your brain's kind of telling you to, like, oh my gosh, I have to go help my friend, I'm gonna notice I'm at 1 HP, so I'm not gonna push. I'm gonna sit back here and take my Panacea kit, and I think he's gonna start pushing me. I thought I hear it. I can see by the marker. I'm gonna throw this, get ready to bait his aggression. But again, if I run in there without letting my Panacea hit and that person takes me down, the game's over. We don't have any more choices on how the game comes out. And so I'm making the choice that keeps me in the game and keeps allowing me to make decisions that affect the outcome of the game. So we're gonna get a little bit of damage, one knock. I ended up kind of stalling it enough to where Nand was able to self-revive himself up. And so I'm running away. You can see how long the self-revive is after the nerf especially. And this is tragic right here. I don't have any sort of bubbles or invisibility, so I go back down to another enemy, an AI, I should say.
11.
I'm listening to all the comms, every single footstep or gunshot that I can hear. I'm trying to get aware of the situation as much as I can without seeing it. We're able to finally kill the AI and get healed up.
I overheated him.
And this is kind of where the map knowledge comes into play. My map knowledge on Cryo Archive, even despite all of these kind of repetitions, I still don't know kind of the inner machinations of like the flank routes or the sneak routes. And so I kind of sidestep off to the side, still getting attacked by the AI. They're giving up my position, taking away my health. But what am I going to do? I'm going to take the the kind of the mobility route, and I'm gonna get up in a way that they don't expect. I'm not using any sort of stairs. He ends up rezzing right here, and we end up taking the last person.
Let's fucking go.
And you can see how the dismay of that. But that's the thing, guys. If I got panicked by my teammates' comms and just threw caution to the wind and ran in without healing or anything, we would have just died right there. Even though there was a few things that went wrong, there's no way in hell that we win that fight without just playing patience and playing for your own life, even if you have teammates that are kind of panicking or downed or other priorities. And this is just another one, guys. This is literally like a short clip, and we've shown it before. If there's a body somewhere, just sit on it. If you have nothing else to do, we're early in the game. Let someone else make the move for you. Look, they just all come into the body looking like they want to loot, and we're just sitting there. How easy is it, man? You don't need the best guns. You don't need the best loot. You literally can just play on human intuition and just literally just scare people, just frighten people. It works so well, sitting in corners, sitting behind walls. If you don't have anything else to do or you don't have a game plan, let someone else make the play for you. Let someone else give you the signal, you know? But yeah, guys, that's going to be it for today. I got some more videos coming down the line. I'm back to it. I'm in good health now, and I can actually sit up at my computer. Live streams are happening more and more often on this channel on YouTube, so tune in if you ever see one. We usually go for a lot of time every single stream because I'm a grinder. I love this stuff. But yeah, guys, I appreciate you again. Thanks for all the support, sticking with me. Join the Marathon Masterclass Discord, links in the description bio, and hit me on Twitter, unfairly with 2 Y's, guys. I hope you have a blessed week. Take care. Until next time.